Hi everyone, welcome to the 28th Sunday in Ordinary Time. And in our first reading today, we have the story about Naaman, who's the commander of an army. And but the bad news is he has leprosy, and so he goes to the king of Israel. Remember, there's a division right now. So you have your northern tribes, which is Israel, and your southern tribes, which is Judah. And so he goes to the king in the northern tribe, and he says, "What can I do about this leprosy?" And the king gets all upset. It's like, "What, do you think I'm a god or something? What am I supposed to do about this?" But Elisha hears, and Elisha's like, "Chill out, calm down. I'll take care of this Naaman with his leprosy." And so he tells Naaman to go and wash in the Jordan 7 times and then see what happens. And at first Naaman thought it was a little suspicious, but he did it. And so he washes himself 7 times and he's cured of his leprosy. And Naaman is so grateful that he wants to go give Elisha a big reward for it. And he says, "I'm not worshiping any god but your God, the God of Israel." And so what we see with Naaman, and what's the theme of what we're talking about today, is gratitude. Okay, when we are given good things from God, really when we're given anything from God, but when we're given good things from God, how grateful are we? Because this leads us to our second reading, which is about Jesus, who encounters 10 lepers, and they say, "Jesus, Master, have pity on us." And Jesus saw them, and again he says, "Go show yourself to the priests." And so they don't even have to wash or anything. They're just walking to the priests, and all of a sudden they realize that they're healed, right? But only 1 out of the 10 goes back to Jesus to thank him. Only 1 out of the 10. And what's interesting is Naaman in the first reading, right, is not from Israel. He's not from Judah, right? He's a foreigner, but he knows how to give thanks when he's given something good. And it's the same thing with these lepers. They get cured, and then only 1 comes back to Jesus, but he was a Samaritan, right? He was not of the Jewish people. And so Jesus is just kind of amazed by this. He says, 10 were cleansed, were they not? Where are the other 9? Has none but this foreigner returned to give thanks to God? And then he says, "Stand up and go, your faith has saved you." How often I'm hearing these days of people saying how miserable it is to watch the news. It's only bad news, and it's dragging them down. Social media, everything's so bad on social media. One of the key and necessary ingredients to happiness is gratitude. Okay, gratitude. How often are we thanking Jesus for all the things we have in our life? Okay, my spiritual director, I tell this story all the time, once has me do a gratitude list every night before I go to sleep. Okay, and we got to do that. We got to start small. Even if we have problems finding things that we're grateful for, that means that we're not exercising our gratitude very well. Okay, so tonight, let's go ahead and make a list of 10 to 15 things that we're grateful for. And it will start with just I guess I'm grateful I woke up this morning. I guess I'm grateful for the fact that I didn't get in a car accident. And as you do this more often, your gratitude grows, and it creates a shift in us where we can have more joy. Because rather than focusing on all the stuff, because the news is always going to be negative. Negative news sells. Positive news doesn't, unfortunately. So it's always going to look bad. It's always going to look bad. But if we do what Jesus asks us to do and be grateful to God for everything that we have, we start with the small things, and then we can do the bigger things. And then we learn the secret of the saints, who they're even grateful for their sufferings. They have gratitude for their sufferings because it's an opportunity to help others and to grow themselves in holiness. So let's continue to practice gratitude so that we go from small things to big things, and even to be grateful for those things it's hard to be grateful for, so that we increase and become the saints God has asked us to be, and one day see him in heaven face to face.